Good afternoon everyone, my name is Daniel Harris and today I'm joined by my co-host.
My name is Ahmad Firoz.
Following the global predicament that is climate change, today we are going to discuss further on our problem, climate change. To go in depth about climate change, we need to first learn the meaning of climate. Climate is the weather, what the weather is usually like at a particular place. Malaysia is always normally sunny and rainy, depends on the time of the year. Climate can be different for different seasons. As for example, in the United States, it is mostly hot and dry in the summer and it turns freezing cold in the winter. Climate varies very differently in different places. What is climate change exactly? Climate change is a change of the usual weather at a certain place. This includes how much rain does our country get in a year, how long does the winter last in a year, or the change in the usual temperature for a month. The Earth's climate is also affected by climate change, where there could be a change where rain usually falls on Earth.
Approaching the year 2030, environmental predicament have become major global issues that every country must cater to in their respective future developments. Over the past decades, production of greenhouse gases by fossil fuel-powered vehicles have resulted in spike of global warming issues which leads to climate change around the world. Climate change can be defined as the change in global weather attributed to the rise in global average temperature. Such anomalies include the increased global warming temperature trends, but also can be described to several changes such as sea level rise, ice mass loss in Antarctica and Arctic, shift in flower blooming, and extreme weather changes. We have conducted this survey to observe the public awareness of Malaysia on climate change that is currently happening worldwide and to study on how important these environmental issues to one's life. Almost every major aspects were observed in this survey, which has been remarkably useful to our report, such as causes and effects, solution to these issues, awareness level of respondents on climate changes, and their self-interest in pursuing these issues. The results of this issue has been eye-opening disclosure about climate change to our respondents as the questions are specifically analysed their understanding on this global issue. To discuss further regarding causes and effects, I'll pass this to Amma.
When we talk about climate change, it has always been a question on what causes climate change. Is it the result of human doings or is it the natural behaviour of Earth itself? From the survey we conducted, we have found out that about 38 of the respondents neither agree nor disagree that climate change is a natural fluctuation of the Earth's temperature, which in other words is the behaviour of Earth itself. The main causes of climate change are the emission of greenhouse gases, modernization, and the lack of renewable energy. Greenhouse gases are elements such as chlorofluorocarbon, carbon dioxide, and nitrous oxide, which are released to the atmosphere and preventing heat from being released to space. Modernization, on the other hand, is the cutting of trees to develop buildings, which in return destroys the natural balance of Earth. Lastly is the lack of renewable energy, which could be the way out from using fossil fuel that could harm the atmosphere. When there is a cause, there will always be an effect. So what are the effects of climate change? The effects of climate change is air pollution, droughts, floodings, and destructions of property. Droughts is the dryness of the soil of the earth and we could not harvest crops, which in other words could lead to low production of food. Air pollution, on the other hand, is when wildfire occurs when the temperature of Earth is too hot, which causes the forests, these trees, to catch on fire, which releases haze. And lastly is flooding. Flooding, as we all know, is caused by the increase of sea level, which is caused by the melting of glaciers. Next on, I will pass on to my friend to discuss on how the solutions to tackle climate change.
Thank you, Amma. There are a few efforts that can be done in order to keep climate change from becoming worse. First of all, Each individual should practice 3R in their daily life, which is reduce, reuse, and recycle. By practicing 3R, the amount of waste product can be reduced significantly. Next, people should use public transport or carpooling as an alternative for them to get to work. By doing this, the amount of car on the road can be reduced and the rate of carbon dioxide emission will be lower. Besides, we should stop cutting trees and start planting more trees to reduce the greenhouse effect. To help with our study, we have interviewed a few correspondents from WikiP about climate change. Hello sir, what is your name?
My name is Dan. Yeah,
I'm going to ask you a few questions about climate change.
sure.
First of all, what do you know about climate change?
Okay, about climate change, what I mean is that what I understand about it is the change in the terms of patterns of climate, like heat, which will later on also cause some sea level rise or sea level drop, in something like the ice in Antarctica. It will melt and then the water will increase and we'll have a lot of floods. And the pattern that we used to have of the planet will be different in terms of temperature.
Okay, thank you. For next question,
Yeah.
in your opinion, what is the cause of climate change?
So basically, according to what we read, it's usually they attribute it to the increase in greenhouse gases. All right, they say like there's a lot of CO2 and there's a lot of carbon monoxide that goes to the atmosphere and then it blocks the heat comes into the to the Earth's surface and then not all of it escapes back again. It gets blocked, so the temperature in the Earth's surface increases. This is what I understand about it. Yeah.
For the third question,
Yes.
does climate change affect your surrounding?
My surrounding, as in Malaysia or the country I come from.
In Malaysia.
In Malaysia. Yeah.
What about the country that you're from?
The country I come from, I think same thing as now in Sudan. Back then we used to have a lot of rains, but recently the rains, like if the rain used to come at January, it doesn't longer come in January. It comes maybe in March and it delays. When it delays, it means that those people who depend on the rains for their agriculture, they get affected. Yeah, and even the amount of rain is not the same like it used to be. This affects their livelihood, those who highly depend on agriculture, even their livestock as well. They get affected with it. Sometimes you get flooding. Recently in Sudan, the Nile, it flooded and it went out, to the areas around it. I believe this is one pattern of also climate change.
Okay. Can I ask one last question?
Sure, yeah.
What do you already do to tackle climate change? I mean your daily activities.
I believe one person action doesn't matter that much. It should be about policies, the government and big institutions. Like I can stop buying plastic and all this kind of stuff, but then this is just like a drop in the ocean. What matters is the policy that the government can set, and then the government will create some sort of awareness to people in their countries to take those actions. And also the corporations, we need to put some rules and regulations to limit, big countries. If you look at the statistics now, the countries that contribute to climate change mostly are like the big countries, America, China, Russia, and all, because they have industries. But for us, for example, I come from South Sudan. We have less industries, right? So our impact is not the same in terms of proportion with the impact of United States or China. So I believe whatever we do, it's just a drop in the ocean. Yeah, it should be a global consensus where people take some rules and regulation policies and apply them together.
Alright, thank you so much.
Hello sir. What is your name?
Okay, so my name is Muhammad Haziq.
Okay, so today I'm gonna ask you a few questions about climate change. First of all, what do you know about climate change?
Climate change, basically that's the first time I heard about it. I never know about anything about the climate change.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask the second question.
Okay.
What is the cause of climate change?
The first question, I don't even know what's climate change. So I don't know also what's the cause of the climate change itself, because I don't know what's the meaning of climate change itself. Okay. You get, because I don't care about this issue, because I don't think that this issue will affect my life. Yeah. This is my opinion about that issue what you talk about.
Okay, thank you. So thank you for your time.
Okay. Okay.
To conclude our study, different people have different point of views on this global issue. Level of awareness varies in the correspondence background, such as their age and the degree of their financial status. In this critical period, every member of the community has to take part in carrying in this major responsibility to help improve the environment, specifically tackling climate change regardless of their background. Thank you. I'm reporting from SIC News.